wash away the pain.
It's his second breakfast. They're watching. Alright, so the last movie we were basically showing you the off-grid system that we received. We were testing it, everything was good. So this video, we're going to actually install it onto the property. To do that, I'm going to have to remove the kitchen, which is fine because we can have an outdoor kitchen. We've had an outdoor kitchen before. The reason we're doing that is because we need some space on the wall where all of the units and the battery can be. Now, for those that didn't watch the last movie, basically Andrea's dad is sick. He's in the hospital at the moment. His recovery is going to be a very long time, but he's been in quite a critical state for a while. But he is slowly coming out of that, and so we're hoping that he has a speedily recovery. Now she's gone back because she wants to be with him and also to be with her mom. So that leaves me here. I'd love to be there with her. I'm really sad right now that I'm not on my way to England. So I'm going to finish my breakfast, finish my coffee, maybe have another one. Basically I want to start getting our solar panels ready to put onto the roof.
It will set you free.
Each solar panel is 100 watts, but that doesn't mean it's going to take in 100 watts of power all the time. It really depends on the angle, the sun exposure, and even the season. So at the moment we have 4 of them, which is 400 watts, and we will need more if we want to power our container throughout the year. Luckily, the power hub can take up to 1600, so we'll be looking to maximize this in the near future. In our situation with the roof tiles, it was better to put the solar panels all together so they act like one big panel. Right now what I'm doing is measuring where the holes can be placed in the sides of the panel and the brackets so they can be attached to each other and look a lot neater.
Hey man! So far, we have rescued this little one from our roofs at least 5 times. Once in the middle of the night when we couldn't find him and I had to go around with my torch. And I just don't think he's worked out how to climb down poles yet. And so he just stays up there and whinges. I'm trying to encourage him, so I don't want to go and rescue him all the time. So I've left him up there now for like 20 minutes. And let's see if he manages to work it out. At the moment he's just a very experienced whinger. Well done! See, it's not that difficult. Hey! So everyone, this is Louie. Louie the Fourth. He's a charmer, a whinger, a snuggler, and he loves eating food. What do you reckon, Louie? You like it here? He's a really good companion while Andrea's not here, to be honest. Alright. Leave it here. Back to work. Okay, so it's been a few days since Andrea left, and I have to say that I've definitely noticed her not being here because the place has all of a sudden got a little bit untidy. So I suppose that's kind of normal, that you only really realize what each other are doing once you kind of spend some time away from each other. So yeah, I need to do some cleaning before I continue to do anything. And then afterwards I really want to start tackling moving the kitchen out of the container. The gas boiler needs to be taken out. All the water has to be changed, which means the shower is going to stop working. So I kind of need to do lots of cleaning, get everything ready, have a shower, and be prepared for the fact that for a few days I might not have any services. Okay, so as you can see, kitchen's been taken away. Still have to work on the boiler and some shelves over there. But meanwhile, I just so desperate to move this fridge because there was no space to put it apart from right in front of the window. But now we've got this space, so it's going to be moving. Cool. First time dancing in the kitchen. Well, I'm going to work on it a bit more later. I just wanted to get out of the way because it didn't look very nice. So right now I want to prepare the wall for the power hub, and I'm going to be using some OSB, the same stuff that I'm using for the floor, just to create a backing for everything to attach to. And then I'm just literally going to get everything ready, so tomorrow it's bish bash bosh. I need 70.
Before I assemble the cabinet which will store the power unit, I need to organise the electrics for the container, as there will be limited space after the cabinet is put together. I replaced the existing distribution panel with an RCD switch and then connected it to the EcoFlow power hub. I made a simple cabinet using the OSB panels. I cut them to be wide enough for the power hub to have enough clearance. I attached them to the battens here. I attached all the pieces together. And voila! This is what it looks all assembled, and this is how it looks painted.
So basically EcoFlow, they supply these kind of brackets which are great for attaching the solar panels directly to the top of your van or to a flat roof, but they're not very good for the kind of traditional tiles that we have here in Portugal. So what we've done is we've come up with a solution by using this right-angled aluminium bracket, attach them all to the bracket, and then we're actually going to use these brackets to attach them to the tiles. So at the moment what we're doing is we're putting a hole very gently over here so we don't go all the way through and damage the solar panel, and then we're going to attach these to this like so, and then we'll attach these to the roof. That's the plan anyway.
Wins the race. Ready? I'll take the bottom out that way a bit. Okay, so that's in. And
That is
the bottom one's
cool.
lining up.
Okay, it's been a super long day today, and I finally can say that we're ready to start putting all the different components together. Today's mission was quite difficult because we had to put the solar panels on the roof, and we had to devise like this completely original plan. Now, I did actually injure myself a little bit. I can advise you that it's not a good idea to try and catch a drill with a big drill bit in it while it's falling from the sky.
You okay?
So I kind of did myself in over there. So first things first, we need to put the distribution panel, and so I built this box. It's nothing special really, it's just a simple box that it can slot into and hopefully hide some of all the wires and make it look a little bit neater. So that's the first thing I'm going to put in. Okay, so the power hub is really easy actually. It's 48 centimeters wide and 32 centimeters in height. It needs to have a space of at least 10 centimeters all the way around it, and so I'm going to give it 12 centimeters. There we are. Look at that beast. Okay, so I ran out of light basically, and I didn't want to give you guys a bad quality film, so I had to stop there, and I'll wake up tomorrow morning when we have much better light and continue there. Okay, so now we have good light and it's early in the morning, so we'll be able to turn off the electricity and focus on wiring all of this in, so the next time the electricity goes on, it will be coming from the battery rather than the mains. I think one challenging thing with this is that they've made it so, you know, it's going to be useful in all sorts of setups, and the cabling, it's not really been designed to be trimmed or to made smaller, but it's good because you can use this unit somewhere else and you might not have this panel so close to the power hub, so it gives you that option. But with all things with electricity, if there's something that's taking up a lot of voltage, it can create a lot of heat. So you can't exactly like wind up all of these cables tightly and then just strap it in a very tight space where there's not any ventilation. It's really important that there's a lot of space and all the cabling is not next to each other, because that can actually generate heat when you have a lot of demand on the circuit. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I made this cupboard really big, is that we can space out all the cabling, and there's also ventilation on the top and the bottom. Later on I want to set up some sort of DC circuit with a thermostat that will literally suck out the hot air from the cupboard and blow it out of the container while bringing cold air from underneath the container. that's our DC. Okay, so the next step is to link up the container's circuits over to this unit, and to do that we're going to be passing the wires through this hole over here. So these cables, they actually form the light and the light switch, and so I'm just going to make it more efficient for the space that we're going to use. So I need to join up these two in a more kind of secure way, so I'm actually going to solder them and use some heat shrink and make it almost so it looks like one cable that's just a little bit thicker. Okay, so here is the smart panel, and I want to place it just here. And that just connects to this as well. So basically, two more things that we need to plug in. We need to connect the power hub to the actual battery, and then after that we need to attach the solar panels. So we'll be able to test everything once we've put the battery on. So that's all working. Let's check to see if it can power the container. I'm sure it can. Ooh, lights, finally. So finally we can plug in the solar panels from outside. So over here, you can take the cover off, stick that in, and it's as easy as that. Look at that. Input 27 watts, not surprising seeing that the weather is so terrible.
Well, I'm heading back to England, and I'm very excited to see Andrea, but I have to say that I really am feeling a bit sad about leaving Portugal at the same time. So I'm back in England. Hopefully not for too long. I'm going to see Andrea, say hi to her family, and I'll be back in Portugal very soon to continue all our hard work. So I'll leave you to it. I'll see you next video. Home at last. Yay! Yay!
I'm really happy you're here.